Good morning. Buenos dias. I hope you had an opportunity to enjoy a delicious, nourishing breakfast, locally sourced, of course, and prepared by Chinita's Pies. Thank you, Christina. Woo! Let's give her a shout out. My name is Consuelo Martinez, the Advocacy and Leadership Director for the San Diego Food System Alliance. I am excited to welcome you to the beautiful hidden city, Escondido, my hometown where I grew up and where I have the honor to serve on the Escondido City Council. The team and I are so grateful to host you for the third annual gathering here. We're really excited to have you back. By the way, if you've been to an annual gathering before, please raise your hand. Awesome. Welcome back. And thank you for showing up. We have over 500 of you that have registered to attend today, breaking our attendance record once again. Yes, that deserves a round of applause. Thank you. We have a special program for you today. I would like to introduce Dr. Roxanne Kimani, our San Diego Food System Alliance Board Co-Chair. Roxanne is also the Senior Equity Leadership Consultant at the National Equity Project, a life transformation strategist, and owner at Kimani Catalyst Consulting. And both organizations are dedicated to equity and belonging for all people. I'll turn the mic over to you, Roxanne.
All right. Hello. Welcome. Good morning. I'm going to begin with the land acknowledgement. The San Diego Food System Alliance acknowledges, honors, and offers our gratitude to the Kumeyaay, Luiseño, Cahuilla, and Cupeño people and land. This land is a part of a relationship that has nourished, healed, protected, and embraced the Kumeyaay, Luiseño, Cahuilla, and Cupeño people to the present day. This land and its people are a part of a worldview founded in the harmony of the cycles of the sky and balances in the forces of life. We stand upon a land where these tribal nations overlap, specifically the land that carries the footsteps of millennia of Kumeyaay and Luiseño people. They are a people whose traditional life ways intertwine with a worldview of earth and sky in a community of living beings. I pay our respect to their ancestors, both past and present, and honor their cultural, spiritual, and environmental stewardship of this land. I am grateful for the opportunity to live, work, and learn on this territory and commit to actively supporting the ongoing efforts of the Kumeyaay Nation and the Luiseño people, and I ask all of you to do the same. We must acknowledge that we meet on stolen land, taken from Indigenous peoples with brutality. We must acknowledge the hidden history of violence against all Indigenous peoples in an effort to move towards deep community and lasting justice. We must recognize that this acknowledgement does not replace action. As visitors of this unceded territory, we must commit to building meaningful relationships with the original stewards of this land and deepening our understanding of the history of colonization. Through the work of the Alliance and the San Diego County Food Vision 2030, we seek to elevate ancestral wisdom and the Indigenous ways of life as essential solutions to healing all people and our planet. All my relations. I have the honor of introducing all of you to Dr. Stan Rodriguez. He is from the San Isabel Band of the Pi Nation and a tribal councilman for the nation. He is the director of the Kumeyaay Community College and a U.S. Navy veteran. Stan teaches at Kumeyaay Community College, Cuyamaca Community College, and is an adjunct faculty at California State University, San Marcos. As a committed member to the Native peoples of the region and one of 33 remaining Kumeyaay language speakers, STAN works to share and preserve Indigenous culture, language, and practices in the region. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Stan Rodriguez up here.
Hauka I penya mati pe cham. Stamunya chuinya makopa buikonam. Menyo vaya pi. Yamayu han yamakwa han. Ahan. Mayum yawayo nyakatos enya kwa kwa. Peyicha. Oya pesho. You're just staring at me. How many of you understood what I said? That's what I thought. Actually, now there's only 28, but we're hoping to change that, 28 speakers, but we're hoping to change that language shift. And try again. Bienvenidos a todos. Mi nombre es Stan Rodríguez. Yo soy Paicumia de la Reserva Santa Isabel. Y ahorita son muy felices porque nosotros estamos aquí por ese evento. ¿Qué te piensas? ¿Está bien? ¿Seguro? No dime mentiras, pues. Ándale. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Stan Rodriguez. I'm an Ipai Kumeyaay from the Santa Isabel Band of the Ipai Nation. And it's a great honor to be here with all of you in this place at this time as we all come to share knowledge, share what we're doing. Real quick, I just wanted to say that when the Creator made all of us, the Creator had a gift. And that gift was critical thinking, deductive reasoning. So the Creator was going to give it to one of the animals. And yes, we are animals. We are part of nature. The Creator was going to give it to one of us. At first, the Creator was going to give it to the grizzly bear. How many of you ever seen a grizzly bear? Aren't they cuddly, warm, fuzzy? Don't you just want to give them a big hug before you go into their digestive tract? No. The grizzly bear had a bad attitude. How many of you ever known somebody with a bad attitude? Doesn't listen, just does whatever they want. Well, the Creator said, "Kuwonya pe tipul mayumam pya howak me nyapum hilta lapich wit." He said, "Look at these humans. They're pitiful. They never learned how to walk on all 4 feet. They can only do it on 2. They run slower than everybody else. They only have hair on top. Well, some people have more, but, on top of their head. They get cold real quick, hot real easy. They're pitiful." So He gave us that ability. And that is like a glass. It's a cup of knowledge. But we have the capability. Now we must put knowledge in it. And that's where we all come in. So, we'll talk more about this later on. But I just wanted to say, Maya Hanapao, Maya Snivarato Mimp, Yo Moya Oya Umao, Pei Sepo King Ya Ipe, Kamich Pei, Ni Pam Peinja, Ketuch Enya Kawaki, Nivara Ni Spirwa, Air Charge, Mathau Maat. Mayum ya wait na som Nyip speed ya wait pukim. And I say, Creator of all, your breath brings life into the universe. All that we know and we do not know has come from you. We thank you for this next day of life that we have. And we remember our relatives who have just passed. We ask that you bless us in our minds and our hearts and our bodies as we share with each other. Let us take this knowledge and take it back and continue to grow as we continue to help the earth to heal and our people to heal. So thank you for that. And last thing I want to say before I shut my snoot, there's a young man over here. I'll call him young because I'm a little bit older, maybe a couple months. Heritage Commissioner, Luiseño people, Wayne Nelson, accomplished bird singer. He's bringing that in. And in the Kumeyaay way of saying bird, we say tokok. And each song tells a story. And it's a narrative that goes back from when the Creator gave us knowledge. So Mr. Nelson and his group are going to be sharing these songs. And they are spared. They're kwahan, they're yuhan, they're sacred songs. So this is what we do. We sharing this knowledge. So I would like to ask that you welcome, in a good way, my friend, Wayne Nelson. Please.
Hello, hello. Good morning. We're the Intertribal Bird Singers, and we were taught these songs by Mr. Robert Levi. They were passed down, and they're actually from his clan, Aswatse'i. So we're very privileged that he passed these on so we can carry on his tradition and his legacy. And my name is Wayne Nelson. We have my relatives here. This is Brandon Johnson, and Tobias Ravago. We come from the Paula Indian Reservation. So, and these songs are social. If you guys are familiar with bird, you guys ever seen it, you guys are more than welcome. We're going to share about 3 songs with you guys, so hopefully you guys enjoy. Thank you. Thank you. So this bird song, like Stan was talking about, it's a typical style of Southern California singing. The different tribes, they sing a little bit different style, but a lot of them have the same meaning. And these songs talk about the migration of the people. There's hundreds of these songs, not just the migration, but they talk about the way of life, animals, their birds, the calls. That particular one was talking about the travel. It was saying where we're coming. It's they have frost upon them. They're describing all the weather they went through and the hardships they went through, and they got lost, they got rained on. So the next one we'll sing, it's maybe we'll do a double, then we'll end it. So there's different beats to these songs. There's hundreds of these songs. So we can sing from when it gets dark to when it gets light without repeating one song. That's how many of these songs there are. So, And there's different beats, so we'll try to do a double right now, then we'll end it with a straight. Thank you. Toma, toma esa, 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 toma, toma esa. Ame, pensave, pivate, ame, pensave, pagale, ame, pensave, pivate, ae, toma, tomiesa, 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 ame, pensave, pivate, ame, pensave, pagale, ame, pensave, pivate, ae, toma, tomiesa, 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 ame, pensave, pivate, ame, pensave, pagale, ame, pensave, pivate, ae, toma, tomiesa, toma, tomiesa, toma, tomiesa, toma, tomiesa, ame, pensave, pivate, ame, pensave, pagale, ame, pensave, pivate, ae, toma, tomiesa, That was a tobacco song, that one, and then the next one we'll sing. We'll end it with this one. It's part of the traveling song. It's talking about Chamawa and we're getting rained on, and it's kind of a sad song, but it's talking about the bluebird and the blackbird. They're flying above the people. You'll hear the stops, and they're saying they're sad for them inside their hearts because of what they're going through. And the songs before was talking about it was getting cold, it's getting windy, and then now it's raining on them. So the bluebird and the blackbird are flying above them, and they're looking at the people, and they feel sad for them inside their hearts, but they know they have to keep going. So hopefully you guys enjoy, and thank you. This will be our last song. Come manem sonwe chamawauni evane akana chamawauni evane akan apa chamamnga is manem sonwe chamawauni evane akana chamawauni evane akan chamawauni evane akana chamawauni evane akan love it, boy. Good job, man. Take it. Back over here.
Whew. Thank you. Wilda Wong is a mindfulness-based stress reduction teacher. I need some of that. And a lifelong student committed to living an embodied practice that cultivates a mindful response to anxieties, traumas, and life stressors. Wilda is a friend and ally to this movement, both in her role as a communications professional and in her work of bringing mindfulness and somatic practices to social justice. Please join me in welcoming Wilda.
Thank you. I want to invite you all to practice the art of, or the act of noticing today. And if you feel comfortable wherever you are, feel free to gently close the eyes or lower your gaze in this moment. So first, taking a moment to notice where you are seated, and maybe feeling your feet planted firmly on the earth, feeling your body in the chair that you're on or standing, just noticing your posture in this very moment. Perhaps noticing how the arms are placed, perhaps in the lap or by the sides of the body, just noticing that. Now I invite you to take a moment to notice the breath. Noticing the in-breath, noticing the air entering the body through the nostrils or the mouth. Noticing the temperature of the air as it enters the body. Perhaps noticing the chest and the belly rising as you take each breath. Now noticing the air exiting the body. And maybe noticing the change in temperature of the air as you exhale. Perhaps noticing the sun on the face, feeling a slight breeze. And today I encourage and invite you to continue practicing noticing. As you meet people today, being present with them, looking them in the eye. As you attend sessions, paying full attention to what is being shared. And also noticing any thoughts and feelings that are arising for you today. Maybe noticing joy, experiencing laughter, maybe noticing grief, sadness. Whatever it is you're noticing, see if you can befriend it as it arises. Acknowledge it. And as we take our meals today, the invitation is to observe the food that is in front of you, using all the available senses to you. Maybe looking at the food and smelling the food, touching the food, maybe even listening to the food. And as you take each bite, see if you can slow down for just a moment and just really noticing as you put the bite into the mouth, as you chew, as you're about to swallow the food. And perhaps acknowledging where the food is coming from. Acknowledging everyone who worked the land, who worked to bring you the food here today. And if it's within your practice, practicing gratitude for that, for the earth, for the sun, for the water, all the resources that go into growing this food and producing this food for us today, this nourishment. And as you take each bite, perhaps noticing how it feels in the body and checking in with the body. Are you still hungry? Do you feel full? Checking in with your body today to see what it needs. How will you feel nourished? And now returning our attention to the breath once more. Just noticing the breath without changing it in any way. Just breathing in and breathing out. To share a verse from Thich Nhat Hanh, I invite you to perhaps repeat to yourself, breathing in, I know I am breathing in. Breathing out, I know I am breathing out. Thank you for noticing.
Thank you, Wilda. Thank you. So I was asked to offer my reflections on the theme of kinship and its connection to social justice, food justice, and of recognizing that we are a part of something greater than ourselves, far greater than ourselves. These notions, while seemingly distinct, are intrinsically linked. And understanding this connection is essential for building a more equitable and compassionate world. I will also name that by the end of this reflection, I hope the concept of kinship will be fully embedded in your brain, and by the end of this gathering, fully embodied in your heart and action. Kinship refers to the bonds of family and community. It's the recognition that we are all interconnected and that our fates are intertwined, and that our well-being is dependent on the well-being of those around us. These bonds extend beyond blood relations to encompass our broader human family, transcending geographical, racial, and cultural boundaries. In a world that often emphasizes division and difference, kinship serves as a reminder that at the heart of it all, we are united by a common humanity, and that we should treat one another with the same care and respect that we would extend to our own family members, however we each define family. Social justice at its core is the commitment to fairness, equality, and the protection of human rights in this society. It's the idea that every individual deserves an equitable opportunity to thrive regardless of their background, and that the systems and institutions that all of us engage and encounter should work to dismantle systemic discrimination. Social justice seeks to rectify the imbalances of power, wealth, and opportunity that exist in our world today. Access to healthy and good food is a basic human right, and no one should go hungry or lack access to nourishing meals due to systemic injustices. Food justice is a holistic approach to address issues of hunger, nutrition, sustainability, and the fairness within the food system. It aims to create a world where access to nutritious, culturally relevant food is not determined by one's social or economic status, or where the production and distribution of food respect the rights and dignity of all individuals and communities. In the space between kinship, social justice, and food justice is an understanding that we are not alone in this world. We are a part of an intricate tapestry of life where every species, every organism, and every living being is interconnected to a vast and interdependent web of existence. This perspective prompts us to reflect on what it means to center kinship in our social and food justice systems, to treat the earth as our kin, and to extend our sense of family beyond the boundaries of the human tribe. On the invitation to this event, we were asked an essential question: how can we become better kin? How can we, as individuals and as a community, fully embrace and live out the principles of kinship and interconnectedness? Becoming better kin involves recognizing the earth as not just a resource to exploit, but as a cherished member of our global family. It means understanding that our well-being is deeply connected to the health of the planet and all of its inhabitants. It's also essential to recognize that this is not a new concept. Many Indigenous cultures have long understood and embraced the extended sense of kinship. They have recognized the interconnectedness of all life and have woven this wisdom into their worldviews and spiritual beliefs. In these cultures, being human is based on this deep sense of kinship, not just with other people, but with all living beings. This perspective encourages us to learn from these cultures, draw wisdom from their teachings, and to incorporate these insights into our efforts to create a more compassionate and sustainable world. To view Earth as our kin requires a change in our perspective. We must be willing to shift our worldview from one that values individualism and division to one that recognizes all life on this earth. It's a shift from me to we, from seeing differences as divisions to embracing diversity as strength. That shift from me to we requires us to dismantle racism and white supremacy, to eradicate the divisions that undermine the principles of kinship and social justice. Becoming better kin means going beyond just acknowledging the existence of deeply rooted prejudices and biases that perpetuate racism and white supremacy, but actively working to dismantle it, to dismantle those systems. It means engaging in open, honest, and sometimes deeply uncomfortable conversations about race, privilege, and discrimination. Dismantling systemic oppression means acknowledging that discrimination and prejudice fragments the human family, the Earth family, and denies the dignity and rights of countless individuals. It's about recognizing that each of us, all of us, from me to we, have a role to play in tearing down these systems to build a more just society. Becoming better kin is an ongoing journey. It's not a destination. It's about recognizing that we can do more, learn more, and be more conscious of the kinship that binds us all. It's a commitment to a world where we prioritize interconnectedness, collective justice, and sustainability in all that we do. In the spirit of this work, I want to acknowledge the ongoing conflict and suffering experienced by both Palestinians and Israelis, as well as the broader Muslim and Jewish communities. I sympathize with all of the victims near and far impacted by this horrendous devastation. Let us hold them deeply in our hearts and minds. This atrocity highlights the sense of urgency around embodying kinship and its call to action. Watch, listen, learn, engage with compassion. I urge all of us to be steadfast in our commitment to humanity, to alleviate human suffering in all the ways that it affects our kin, our peoples, and the sacred lands of the ancestors, past and present. Let us stay grounded in the question, how can we become better kin? This question challenges us to act with intention, compassion, and a profound sense of responsibility. It's a call to action to build a world where kinship is at the core of our values, a world where we recognize our shared responsibility for the well-being of all living beings and for the earth itself. It's a call for a shift in our mindsets from a world where divisions and hierarchies prevail to one where connection and shared responsibility are paramount in addressing social inequalities, promoting food equity, and nurturing a more compassionate society, a more sustainable community. Let us be inspired to collaborate together to eliminate systemic oppression and to ensure that no one goes without the basic necessities of life, and that everyone experiences a full and thriving life of abundance. By bringing ourselves into closer relationship with Earth, we can design a food system that nourishes both our bodies, our cultures, and our planet, while fostering a more abundant, resilient, and equitable world for all peoples. It is not just our hope. It is our responsibility to future generations and the health of this planet. In the interstellar words of Alice Walker, look closely at the present you are constructing. It should look like the future you are dreaming. I want to invite all of you to stand up if you feel called to now, only if you feel called, and to close your eyes for a moment and allow your body to connect and sway with the rhythm of the earth, your kin, your relations. Don't worry, nobody's going to come around and touch you. Just let yourself sway. Find that connection. In a world of boundless relations we dwell, where human connections and earth stories swell, from the smallest of beings to the grandest of trees, this web of life is our kin as it sways in the breeze. No need for formality, no need for display. Our kinship is broader than words can convey. As we seek justice for all and sustenance strive, in our extended kinship, we come alive. To be better kin, a quest we embark. In our minds and our actions, we will leave a deep mark. Dismantling racism with resolve we demand. A more just world requires our hearts to expand. the earth as our kin, a cherished relation, deserves our protection and reverent dedication. In stewardship, we find our purpose untold, the planet's well-being, stories cherished and extolled. In unity, we stand, singing life's amazing songs. It's together we're strongest. In community, we're strong. In the kinship of hearts, we pledge to be fair. With justice and love, a world will repair. So let us reflect on the path that we must all tread to be better kin to all in our hearts and our head. For in each of these actions, however small, lies the promise of a world where we stand for all. Ashe, aho, and so it is. So you can choose to sit, you can stay standing, you can stay swaying. Take a deep breath. And in the spirit of today, what is that theme? I'm sorry, what? Thank you. I want to offer, where'd those go, those agreements? There we go. On each of the tables, we want to offer you those community agreements that allow us to connect to our hearts and to our minds, to be in community with one another, to embody the theme of kinship. And so I invite you to take a picture of those, bring those with you in all of your conversations throughout today, and quite frankly, throughout the rest of your being on this planet. Practice move up, move back. Be mindful of your own style to create more equitable participation. Be vulnerable. Refrain from blaming or shaming self and others. Recognize structural issues. Practice self-focus. Respect confidentiality. Ask questions and be curious. Adopt a both-and mindset. Adopt an abundance mindset that allows you to seek multiple truths and voices. Understand the difference between intent and impact. Everyone has a right to pass. Recognize that there are other realities. All of these tables are full, and yet there are more people who don't have a seat at these tables. Laugh at jokes. Be bold with ideas. Establish and use shared language. Practice mindful listening. Try it on. Step out of your comfort zone. And my most favorite one, be present. Y'all with me on those agreements? All right. Where are we going?
Okay. All right, everyone. We're getting ready to head to our session soon, but I want to do some thank yous and some housekeeping. Gratitude to all of you for joining us, the amazing speakers, musicians, facilitators, interpreters, photographers, videographers, childcare providers, food makers, the team at the Center for the Arts Escondido, community hall participants, vendors, volunteers, our Food Vision 2030 Stewardship Committee, and the San Diego Food System Alliance Board of Directors. We also want to thank the Kumeyaay and Luiseño people. We'd also like to thank our sponsors. Gold sponsors are Blue Shield Health Plan, Builders Initiative, Feeding San Diego, the San Diego Foundation, Jacobs and Cushman San Diego Food Bank, Sharp Health Plan, and U.S. Bank. Our silver sponsors are the Conservation Fund, City Heights CDC, City of Escondido, Impactful, Más Allá, Sunrise Produce. And our bronze sponsors, EDCO, International Community Foundation, Mission Fed, North County Philanthropy Council, and Self-Help Credit Union. And thank you to our in-kind donors, Dr. Bronner's, Edible San Diego, EDCO, Ocean Beach People's Food Co-op, Specialty Produce, Sunrise Produce, Patagonia Provisions, and Koshna Spices. Let's give them a round of applause for our sponsors. And I know we still have folks coming here, but I also want to recognize our elected officials and their staff. Cole Reed and Samantha Brown from the Office of California Senate Pro Tem Tony Atkins. And if you're here, please stand. Adrian Cisneros Selectman from the Office of San Diego County Supervisor Jim Desmond. Carlsbad City Council Member Teresa Acosta. I saw her, there you are, hello. Oceanside City Council Member Eric Joyce. Lemon Grove City Council Member Allison Snow, she's on her way. Marianne Osmond from the San Diego City Council President Sean Elo Rivera's office. So let's give a round of applause to our elected officials and their staff joining us today. Thank you for being here. I'd also like to thank the organizing team, Rachel Oporto, Margaret Chu, Sona Desai, Addison Breeze, Jordan Yantz, Hannah Schuler, Lakeisha McZeal, Ellie Brown, and Juliana and Carlos Crespo of Crespo Events. Thank you to our organizing team. Didn't they do an awesome job? Always outdoing every year. It's always amazing. Some housekeeping as our sessions are about to start. The sessions will begin promptly after this. Please make sure to move over to your sessions, which will be here, and there are signs. Also see our program in our beautiful program book. We have a program book this year. If you look inside, we have some session changes right here. Open up your books and find that. There's been a small change. So in the center of your gathering guide, you'll find a schedule of the day. The session taking place in Salon 5 at 10 a.m. is Opportunities for Aspiring Farmers, which is now taking place in Salon 4 at 1 o'clock. So we pretty much just switched those two. And so the 10 o'clock one is now going to be Nourishing Our Future, Sustaining Local Food and Water Connections. That'll be in Salon 5 right after this opening session. So make sure you head over to Salon 5. I will be there moderating if you'd like to be in that session. Some of our sessions do have Spanish interpreters, so make sure you pick up one of the bilingual guides and find out which sessions will have an interpreter. Not all will have them, but some will. Our community hall is now here, so you all can easily access it and find it. So thank you to our participants. It's full of incredible organizations, businesses, and innovations. So I encourage you to make sure you stop and visit our community hall participants. Also, we have an evaluator here, evaluation consultant, Marit Doshi. If you could stand, Marit. There she is. Hi, Marit. So she's here, and she may ask for a little bit of your time today to ask a few questions. If you are available and interested in supporting us, she would love to talk to you. So with that, do we have any closing statements before we go into our sessions?
Yes, but it's one that requires all of you, okay? So it's in connection to this grounding. I want everyone to take a deep breath in, and then just breathe it out loud, real loud. Ah. One more. In. The earth is our kin. We got oxygen feeding us from all of these trees, so don't forget to breathe. And that's the closing statement.